Hello, everyone. Today is February 23rd, 10 a.m. February 23rd, 2026, 10 a.m. Today we're going to talk about Eileen Gu. I actually didn't really want to talk about her because she's not, in the grand scheme of things, not that important, and not there are bigger fish to fry, let's just say. But I keep getting these video recommendations, and it's really bugging me how people out there are trying to whitewash, you know, what Eileen Gu did and whitewash China and pretend that, it's what Eileen Gu does is normal. It's not normal. They're trying to normalize something that's not normal. Okay. First of all, Eileen Gu grew up in the U.S., born, raised, trained in the U.S., and acquired her skiing skills in the U.S. And so if you this thought that, hey, she owed a little bit of her success to the U.S., I think it's just normal to feel that way about it, rather than China. I mean, it's just normal. It's just normal for people to feel that way. But what Eileen Gu did is more than representing a foreign country, and she could represent any other foreign country. Well, that's not authoritarian anyways, and it would be less of an issue. It wouldn't be much of an issue. It's like she's not the only one who's representing a foreign country, right? There's Duplantis, right? Duplantis is an American-born athlete. He's been representing Sweden. Nobody talks about him. It's not an issue. He's representing a democratic country. It's not a big deal, right? In Eileen Gu's case, she's decided to represent China, who is at that point in 2022, right after the crackdown on the Hong Kong protests. And I just want to show you real quick what the five protests are. Five demands are: complete withdrawal of the extradition bill. So China decided to pass the law to extradite Hong Kong citizens to stand trial in China. Why wouldn't you want Hong Kong citizens to stand trial in Hong Kong? Why would you want them to stand trial in China? Well, I'll let you decide. I'll let you figure that out. Anyways, this sparked protest, and to be honest, whether this law exists or not, China is going to kidnap people. China already has a history of kidnapping Hong Kong citizens, right? From Hong Kong to have secret trials in China. Like, their family literally don't know where they went. Literally, they just disappeared, and later the families find out that they're in mainland China, standing trial for publishing a book that's promoting democracy or some such thing. Okay, so anyways, so what Eileen Gu did was in 2022, right? And you can definitely say it's America has turned authoritarian. It has been transitioning to authoritarianism for a long time now, for decades now, and but in 2022, this was before the Gaza genocide. I should correct that because the truth is the Gaza genocide started decades ago. It's a continuation of of a genocide, but let's just the thing is, most people didn't know that, myself included. Like, I had some idea, right, that the Palestinians are the indigenous people and who belong there, and I didn't really understand the dispute until October 7th. And then, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. But the thing is, the Hong Kong protest was about democracy, and what it was is China, the Sino-British Agreement, basic law, the one country, two system. It was supposed to be allow Hong Kong to transition into a democracy. China was supposed to transition Hong Kong into a democracy. Was supposed to allow local governance, and it wasn't supposed to interfere with all this like extradition law and national security law. None of that, right? It's breaking its promise. It's not transitioning Hong Kong to a democracy. It's supposed to have. There are legislative seats they're elected in Hong Kong. There are legislative seats that are not, right? And then of course the pro-democratic people are disqualified from. In fact, they're not just disqualified; they're arrested. So, under this backdrop, with people in 2022, say for example Joshua Wong, still arrested, right, for protesting, for fighting for democracy, Eileen Gu decides to represent China. And it's 2026, she's won another gold medal. Joshua Wong is still in prison for exercising her right to his right to free speech. And it's rubbing salt on all the people who have fought for democracy in Hong Kong and in China, because in the long run, Hong Kong is like an experiment. I think, China really missed out on an opportunity to, they should have transitioned Hong Kong to a full democracy and, learn from that model and used what they learned to transition mainland China to democracy. Because, without democracy, there's no checks and balance. There's no way to guarantee anything, right? There's no rights. It's ruled by people, not ruled by law. If you don't have democracy, you don't have free speech, don't have the right to vote and all that, right? So even in the U.S., yes, we're transitioning to authoritarianism, to what looks like a police state, anyways. But we have rights in the U.S. and we do fight back. We can fight back in the courts through legal means, and so I believe in democracy. I think most people believe in democracy also. They want democracy. Sure, democracy is imperfect. I believe one of the biggest reasons why the U.S. is failing is because, partly it's because of the corruption, right? Stuff like Citizens United letting certain entities, private entities, to donate money, to spend as much money as they want on politics, but also partly because the people have dropped the ball. And they don't look at they don't spend enough time learning about politics, learning about policies, learning about the candidates, and that's why we have what we have today. So it's a democracy is not free. Freedom is not free. You have to fight for it. You have to pay for it, and you pay for it under the best of circumstances by learning about candidates, learning about policies, and learning what it means. But anyways, I'm really getting distracted here. So I just find it really gross that people are trying to whitewash China and whitewash, the CCP specifically on what they're doing, and whitewash what Eileen Gu did. What she's doing is not a big deal. It rubs people the wrong way. It certainly rubs me the wrong way. I definitely will bitch and moan about it if I see it, right? If people start saying stuff like, "Oh, well done for overcoming pettiness." This is not pettiness. This is about it's not about jealousy. It's because she's decided to rub salt on the people who are fighting for democracy, who have sweated. I mean, is it so much to ask for you to just enjoy your democracy, your freedoms, your rights, without rubbing it in on the people who are fighting for theirs, who are fighting to try to get what you have? Because Eileen Gu enjoys a level of freedom and rights that Chinese and Hong Kong citizens do not, right? It can a top athlete who's a front runner for a medal, for an Olympic medal in China, decide they want to represent the U.S. What would happen to them if they did that? There has been literally no real consequence except some verbal condemnation for Eileen Gu to represent China, to represent the CCP specifically. So she's enjoying these freedoms and rubbing it into other people's faces, and that's why I find her choice unethical, and she could have decided to represent any democratic country. She could have decided to represent the U.S. and she would have been well off. Maybe she would have made less money, but she would have been well off. Why? You could have made $10 million. Maybe you're making $20 million representing China, when you could have made 10 million. So yes, you're making less, but what's the difference? Is your quality of life really going to change that much between 10 million and 20 million? Not really. Is excessive luxury all that important, right? And anyways, that's what I'm trying to say is there is really an issue of ethics, right? It's not the law, because she's doing something legal, right? She has the legal right to do what she's doing, to represent whichever country, represent China. But there's an ethical problem, and when it gets pointed out, it becomes atrocious Western media bullying. Okay. Yeah. Look, she made her own bed. She's going to have to live with it. And that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching.